People used to treat me like I was nothing, but that changed one rainy Chicago night. My name is Maya Johnson, an oncology nurse drowning in mounds of bills in the exhaustion of single motherhood. As the rain battered my windshield and the clouds mirrored my gloomy reality, an eviction notice loomed over me, threatening to strip away the one place my daughter Zoe and I called home. Amid the chaos, I spotted him, a polished businessman in an expensive suit, standing helplessly in the downpour. My heart tightened with conflict, the voices of my mother echoing in my mind, warning me to keep my distance. Yet, something compelled me to stop. Bumping through puddles, I offered him a ride, and in that cramped car, our lives collided in unexpected ways. He revealed a heartbreaking connection. His wife had fought valiantly at my hospital. Asked, and the weight of my circumstances sank deeper. A chilling call from Marcus Webb, the predatory property manager, left me feeling trapped. Driven by love for Zoe, I refused to succumb to despair. However, while rummaging through records, I stumbled upon a bitter truth. Richard Ashford, the very man I had helped, was tangled up in the company evicting me. Nervous yet determined, I sought him out at the cemetery where he mourned his wife. There, our roles reversed. He became the penitent, and I the voice of those silenced. Together, we devised a plan to confront the injustice, igniting a fire within him to alter the practices in his company. Underestimated taught me that compassion, even in the bleakest moments, can create a shockwave of change. Sometimes it takes a storm to reveal the light, and in helping others, we often find our redemption. Maya stood drenched in the rain, her heart racing as she clutched the steering wheel of her weathered car. The eviction notice burned in her pocket, a constant reminder of her looming crisis. When she spotted the businessman, tall, drenched in his expensive suit, struggling with an umbrella, something shifted in her. "Hey, need a ride?" she yelled over the howling wind. He hesitated, then stepped forward, face drawn. "Yeah, I'd appreciate it," he replied, his voice a mixture of relief and defeat. As they drove through the storm, Maya glanced at him. "You're not used to this, are you?" Frontline. Bitterly. "You have no idea. I usually stay far from the rain. Or people like you." His tone dripped condescension, and she felt her stomach twist. "People like me?" she echoed, incredulous. "Just, everyday people. You're not supposed to be out in the downpour." "I'm just trying to help," she said, resentment bubbling up. "I'm not some charity case." Silence fell, thick and tense. He shifted uncomfortably, and Maya felt it, a reminder of her place. The millionaire sat in her car, shielded from the storm, while she was about to lose everything. Days later, she dialed Pinnacle Property Management, hesitating as Marcus Webb's voice came through, draconian and indifferent. "Your case is final, Miss Johnson. You'll need to vacate. No exceptions." Maya's voice shook with outrage. "Mr. Webb, please. I've worked hard. My daughter, it's my hands." He interrupted, mirthless. The line went dead. Isled inside her, the world felt so unjust. She had helped a man who now held her family's fate in his hands, and he had no idea. Or did he? As the rain poured relentlessly over Chicago, Maya Johnson gripped the steering wheel of her aging car, a cloud of frustration hanging over her heart. The eviction notice, a devastating reminder of her mounting debts, crumpled in her pocket like her hopes, both becoming less tangible with each passing day. She glanced at the photo of her daughter Zoe taped to the dashboard, the innocent smile igniting a flicker of determination amid the chaos. Taj. The sophisticated businessman standing forlornly in the rain drew her attention. Instinct wrestled with caution. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind, "Look after yourself, Maya." But as the storm intensified, so did her resolve. She couldn't ignore the desperate look in the man's eyes. Without thinking, she pulled over, knowing that this small act of kindness could warm the icy despair that clung to her heart. Their conversation unfolded with an unexpected intimacy as they shared the burdens of loss. Maya felt a glimmer of connection, an alliance woven through their shared humanity. But the momentary comfort shattered when the reality of his identity clawed at her. A man whose wealth was built upon the suffering of families like hers. With mounting anger coursing through her, she realized she had helped a man who would weaponize his privilege against those struggling to remain home. As the rain pounded on her roof, a new storm brewed inside her. What irony! Confronted with the man responsible for her turmoil, she felt the heat of frustration boiling into a righteous fury. It was time. Maya set her jaw, determined to reclaim her power. Standing before the mirror later that night, she acknowledged an undeniable truth. Things were going to change, and that change would start with her. Maya stood drenched in the rain, her heart pounding. "I can't keep living like this," she murmured to herself, wiping the rain from her face. The eviction notice loomed heavy in her mind, but today felt different. She had just dropped off the millionaire businessman at the cemetery, a strange connection binding them through shared grief. Seeing the pain in his eyes sparked something within her. "I won't let myself be a victim," she whispered, clenching her fists. Determined, she slid her phone from her pocket and dialed Richard. "We need to talk about what your company is doing." His surprise cut through the rain. "Maya, I didn't know you. All this time, I've just been another name on a list," she interrupted, her voice steady. "But I'm not just another statistic. We need to fix this." There was silence on the other end, then softly, "You're right." Maya took a deep breath, fueled by a newfound clarity. "I want you to help others like me. We can hold them accountable." As he agreed, a weight lifted off her shoulders. Each small victory felt like a stepping stone, a strategy evolving into a fight against the system. "Tomorrow, I have a plan," she stated, confidence infusing her words. Even if the journey ahead was uphill, she was no longer alone. With Richard by her side, she felt a change brewing. And for the first time in months, a glimmer of hope flickered within her. A comeback was on the horizon. As the rain poured down, washing the streets of Chicago in a somber haze, Maya Johnson's heart was heavy. Each drop felt like a reminder of her impending eviction and the uncertainty that loomed over her and her daughter, Zoe. When she stumbled upon Richard Ashford, a distinguished businessman stranded amidst the storm, something inside her stirred. Against her better judgment, she offered him a ride. In the car, they shared an unexpected connection, bonding over loss and sacrifice. Richard spoke softly of his late wife, revealing her battle with cancer at Maya's hospital. Pain mingled with empathy flooded her heart, yet the looming unease remained hidden beneath the surface. Richard was the owner of the property management company, threatening her home. Days passed, and the reality of her predicament clawed at her insides. A devastating call from Marcus Webb, the predatory manager, echoed of indifference and power. Yet Maya's tenacity could not be dimmed. Armed with love for Zoe and resolve, she discovered Richard's truth, confronting the bitter irony of her unwitting ally becoming her foe. Driven by a cacophony of emotions, Maya sought out Richard at the cemetery where his wife rested. Their candid conversation sparked something profound. Richard's remorse poured forth, a stark contrast to the coldness she'd just faced with Webb. Fueled by her quiet strength, Maya proposed a plan to expose Webb and change the nefarious practices of his management. Richard, transformed by regret, embraced the mission, igniting a powerful movement for justice. In the climactic board meeting, the atmosphere crackled. Richard stood alongside Maya, his presence a stark embodiment of change. Together, they unveiled the truth about the eviction's stark impact, leaving Marcus speechless, his confident facade crumbling. Maya's heart swelled with a quiet triumph as the room erupted into applause for their fight, her bravery muted yet resolute. Richard's words echoed for a long-lasting change, casting Webb aside and restoring dignity for families, including hers. As they walked out into the softened rain, the burden lifted. Maya's heart brimmed with hope, not just for herself, but for a community sparked by compassion and resilience. She understood the power of one small act and felt the ripples of change that began with her kindness. It was a victory not marred by revenge, but by the quiet strength of standing tall for what was right. Listening to the soft patter of rain against the pavement, I reflect on how a moment of kindness altered my life's path. A simple decision to help a stranger emphasized the complexities of humanity. When I offered that millionaire businessman a ride in the rain, little did I know he would be the very person responsible for the turmoil in my life. I wrestled with feelings of betrayal and empathy as we connected over our struggles. Through our shared vulnerability, I learned that even those in power are not above regret. Holding true to my convictions, I faced the daunting task of bringing change to a system designed to keep people like me down. This journey tested my strength, but ultimately revealed a resilience I didn't know I possessed. Do you think I went too far in confronting someone who had the power to ruin lives? What would you have done in my position? Have you ever had someone treat you unfairly, only to find humanity in them later? I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's explore the delicate balance of power, bias, and justice together.